So let's get started. So first off, thank you all so much for taking time out of your day. You are here for the USC Mann Department of Regulatory and Quality Sciences virtual information session. We have a lot of great information for you today. We have speaking with us today, we have faculty, we have staff with us. And today is all about making sure that you have all the information you need to make a decision about your educational future. So, my name is Kyle Ryan. I'm part of the outreach and recruitment team here in the department. And today we're not only going to be going over the different programs we offer, we have a lot of information about opportunities for you outside of the classroom, professional development, research opportunities. We have information about admissions and scholarships and everything that you need to know. So, first, as we get into it, I want to start off with a poll. So I'm going to be putting a question up on your screen. Where are you tuning in from today? So for most of you, are you tuning in from the Los Angeles area, which is where we are located? Are you outside of Los Angeles but in California? Are you outside of California but in the US, or are you outside the US? Okay, I see a lot of people are answering. It looks like the winner is outside of California, but in the USA, which is good to know about. If you don't know, if you're outside of the Los Angeles area, you can study with us remotely. We will get more into that later. And it looks like Los Angeles is actually the smallest out of those areas, which is interesting. I feel like usually we have a good Los Angeles showing, but outside California. So wherever you're tuning in from the East Coast, the Midwest, outside of California, thank you for being with us. Let's jump into the agenda. So here is what we are going to be talking about today. First off, we're going to be talking about what is regulatory and quality sciences. For some of you, you might already be working in the field, but you might not have gotten your master's in it and you want to come back to school. And for some of you, you might just be discovering what regulatory and quality is. So we're going to give you a brief description about what the industry is all about. Then we're going to go into all of the different degree programs that we offer in our department. We're going to talk about the career and professional support that we offer our students to make sure that the transition from college into a career is as smooth as possible. All of the experiential training that's offered for our students. So the TRACS programs, where you get to work for real companies on real projects. Our student research and co-curricular program, the different scholarships that are offered, uh, graduate school at USC, so outside of our department, what kind of opportunities are available for you? Admission requirements and deadlines, and then Q&A to make sure that any questions that have come up, you have a chance to get those answered. So to kick it off, I'm going to hand it over to the chair of our department, Dr. Anju Pacifici.
Thank you so much, Kyle. And hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to be with you today. And thank you for joining us. So, uh, I'm going to go to the next slide, please, Kyle. A lot of the information you might be curious about can be found on our website, regulatory.usc.edu. This is where it is. And next. So we have our faculty, our staff, our speakers, and alumni, the entire academic community here to support our students find their path to an exciting, fulfilling careers where they can have, financial capabilities while making an impact toward improving global health. So that's our vision. Our vision is to develop skilled professionals for regulated sectors to shape the future of global health. Our mission is to provide unparalleled education and experiential training to empower current and future professionals engaged in developing and commercializing regulated health products. And that the products refer to products that are typically regulated by the FDA in the United States or other regulatory authorities around the world. Next, please. So we want to encourage our students to find their own personalized path. We have a full spectrum of different educational opportunities in regulatory and quality sciences. And for those who want to just take a course, we have that mechanism through the limited status. If you want to get a graduate certificate, you can take 12 units of our course in a designated graduate certificate track, and then you can go on to various degrees. We have 5 different master's degrees, as well as we have a doctorate degree in regulatory science. So all of those programs that I mentioned, the limited status or certificate, the masters, they all roll up. So all the units that you take are accepted into the graduate certificate, and the units in graduate certificate are accepted in the master's program. And the master's program units get rolled up into the doctoral program as long as it's within a certain time limit. So you can see that our master's programs are based on the different areas of interest that our students might have. And so we have Masters in Regulatory Science. It's the broadest of our masters, encompassing 36 units. And it goes through foundational information in both drugs and devices. And then you can specialize within that in terms of area of focus. But then we have other masters that are more focused, for example, medical product quality. And that's for students who might be interested in pursuing opportunities in the quality arena within industry. And there are a lot of, manufacturing quality jobs, CMC quality, a lot of the quality assurance, quality control jobs that might be a really good fit. As you may or may not know, we have been seeing manufacturing come back stateside, and there is really not enough talent to establish the new facilities to start manufacturing in the United States. Moving from 80% of our active pharmaceutical ingredients being manufactured abroad, you can imagine even to move the needle just a little bit, they really need to expand the workforce. And that's where we hope we can contribute. Masters in Clinical Trial Management, Dr. Tony Sukar started this new program, and it's for those who would like to go specifically into the clinical trial arena where there are a lot of opportunities for folks who are properly trained. And then we have this Masters in Regulatory Management, and that is directed by Professor Susan Bain. And this program is specifically targeting those applicants who may already have a doctoral degree, PhD, MD, or PharmD, or even DDS, who would like to enter into the regulated field, and but they just need that extra training. And this is a 24-unit graduate program called Regulatory Management. And in that program, not only do they learn about regulatory science, but they also learn about management because these folks with these terminal degrees have the potential to move up pretty quickly in the management track in companies. And then I'm not going to go through each of the graduate certificates, but graduate certificates encompass 12 units in specific fields as listed here. Thank you. Next, please. I may also, before I go on to this slide talk a little bit about our doctoral degree in regulatory science. So our DRSC program is a doctoral program that encompasses coursework along with a novel doctoral level thesis research. And what is different about this program compared to the PhD program is that this program requires students to come to our program with at least 7 to 10 years of industry experience because they will be researching policy implementation and best practices. And it's really important that they come to us ready to embark on these types of research. And you can't really do that unless you have had experience working in implementing policies. So, and that for the doctoral program, we only accept applications every other year. And this is that year. So this is 2026. We accept applications during even years. And the applications are open and we are accepting applications from qualified applicants. So please look up our website and see if this is a program that might match your interest and your qualifications. So we are renowned for our expansive curriculum. We have dozens and dozens of courses that meet our students' interests. We, of course, have courses focusing on medical product regulation. You can specialize in drugs and biologics or devices, food and dietary supplement as an elective course. It may be of interest to many of our students. And we have a number of courses that specialize in medical product quality. As part of our Master's in Clinical Trial Management, we have several courses that are specific to managing clinical trials, understanding clinical trial writing, understanding clinical trial design. So, and we have courses that also integrate the business elements as well as legal elements of this field. So you can see that, I'm not going to list them all, but you can also look up course descriptions on our website. Next, please. What does the future hold? Well, what we are seeing is that we have been, as far as I remember, and also as we look to the future, that the demand for regulatory professionals is estimated to increase every year, and the need is well above the expected increase in most other scientific and technical fields. And there is a mismatch between job postings calling for advanced degrees and the number of regulatory professionals who hold advanced degrees. We talked a little bit about trying to bring manufacturing back stateside. We talk about increases in clinical trial candidates coming into the pipeline. All this requires people who are properly trained to do the work. But it's like the economics 101. There is kind of a supply and demand mismatch in the workforce in this field, which is good for us and good for our students. Also, this because of the fact that the industry is global in that companies who are developing and commercializing medical and healthcare products are doing it for global market for patients in need all over the world. So there is a huge demand for professionals who are trained in international topics. And we have a quote from Nabila, who just graduated, talking about why she chose USC. So next, please. Where are the jobs? Everyone talks about getting a job in industry, but it's really beyond industry. It's an entire ecosystem where our students can find opportunities. FDA, the regulatory agency in the United States, or other FDAs abroad. So we just recently had, I think within the last few weeks, had two of our graduates who entered the FDA. We have others, graduates in FDA as well. So that's definitely a target destination. We have our graduates in FDA abroad. For example, we have two of our graduates in the Thai FDA in Thailand. And then nonprofit disease organizations, clinical research or contract research organizations, venture capital firms, biopharmaceutical industry, of course, and medical device companies. You know, the Southern California is a hotbed of innovative device companies, so, and they are looking to hire, talented graduates from our program and academic research institutions. We have a few of our students who are working in the GMP facility at USC's cell and gene therapy division. You can go work at startup companies, or even if you are so inclined, work in the patent and trademark office. Some of our students actually end up going into law school and in focusing on corporate law or patent law. In terms of geographically where the jobs are, you can see California ranks first, but you can see Texas, New York, and Massachusetts. Well, New York, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, that's all that eastern corridor. And two things, you have the manufacturing jobs, but biopharmaceutical and medical technology industry is more than just manufacturing. So you have these non-manufacturing life science jobs that are involved in pre-market space in terms of research and development, and then of course post-marketing space in terms of marketing, pharmacovigilance, and sales and reimbursement. Next, please. So Eric Lee is our graduate. He came from the Taiwanese FDA, came here to learn about US and global regulations. He worked in the United States for a while, and then now he is a leader of his own company back in Taiwan. So we find that our graduates are all over the world doing amazing work, and this is a quote from him. Next, please. So this is an exciting field. We expect our our students to come here ready, like sponges, ready to absorb all the knowledge, but then continue to learn throughout their career because, regulations change, the market conditions change, disease profiles change, and science technology definitely change. So we are training our students not only to go out there and work right now, but continue to learn and be ready for whatever that comes their way. I've seen just during the time that I've been in this program, I've seen the evolution of precision medicine, wearables, and mobile apps, combination products, connected devices, and then artificial intelligence-driven closed-loop systems. And then every day I look in the headlines and I see new developments coming in. When we talk about artificial pancreas, I see a lot of the researcher working on truly artificial pancreas with cell therapy in that's in a biological reservoir that gets actually implanted in somebody's body. So, the closed loop artificial pancreas system that you see on the far right will eventually transition into truly a system that mimics an artificial organ implanted in the body. So those are just at the beginning stages of discussion, but really excited to see those programs and those projects come into being reality. And that our students are there to shepherd those projects. And maybe on the FDA side, our students, our graduates are there to review and make regulatory decisions about those projects. Next, please. So the thing that's very interesting about this field is that we have, continue to see salary increases over the year. And there is a vertical trajectory. So there is here you can see chronological trajectory, which is very positive. But then there is vertical trajectory in that you can get in at an entry level and you work hard and you prove your value to the society and the company. And as you get promoted, your salary also gets significantly raised, which is very good, and which is not something you see in every field. Next, please. Of course, the salaries are just one part of the equation. You have the base salary, you have bonuses, you stock options. So there is more than just a base salary that contributes to uh, your rewards for the hard work that you put into this. Um, what we see in this graph is that uh, more and more the companies and the field is wanting to see students who graduate with master's degree. It used to be that masters in regulatory science or masters in regulatory affairs did not exist. So everyone kind of stumbled into the field, and what you had was the idea of on-the-job training. But with more and more academic programs offering master's degrees, um, the companies are not expecting to bring somebody in untrained and train them on the job. If they come with proper training and proper education, they can add value to the company right away. So you're seeing that the competitive landscape in workforce in this field that is composed uh, predominantly of those with graduate degrees. Next, please. Okay, I'm going to hand it over to our poll master.
I love that title. All right, it's time to put another poll up on your screen. The next question we're going to ask you is what is most important to you when choosing a graduate program? Are you most looking for faculty expertise, career services and alumni network, academic rigor and curriculum, or work-life balance? I see we're getting a lot of answers in. Put your answer in now. It looks like at the moment, career services is winning. We're about half of the participants have answered so far, with career services and alumni network still in the lead, and then academic rigor and curriculum in second place. It looks like almost everyone has answered. And also, while we have this poll going, if you don't have the question and answer section open, feel free to open that up. You'll find it down at the bottom. It might be under the More section. But we have some great questions coming in with our Student Services Advisor, Lee Grant, answering them, who you will hear from soon. But there we go. We're going to close out the poll. Looks like Career Services and Alumni Network took first with academic rigor and curriculum and work-life balance, tying for second place. So thank you so much for answering our poll. We appreciate that. It's nice to hear what you all are looking for when choosing a program. So now, moving on, we're going to go right back to Dr. Pacifici.
Thank you. So I like that because we are covering the poll results because we will be covering career services. And we understand this is not like a high school or undergraduate program. You guys are all here because you want to find your path to a meaningful career. So that is the reason why our curriculum is rigorous because we know a lot of the employers because many of the employers are our graduates, and we want to make sure that we send them, uh, you know, applicants who are properly qualified and that they can add value to their work. We have faculty with 20 or more years of experience in industry or at the FDA. For example, Dr. Professor Susan Bain has experience in both, in industry, academia, in all three, industry, academia, and the FDA. And many of them are still working as consultants outside of classrooms so they can bring real world experience and real world knowledge to our students. We have hundreds of guest speakers from industry and a few from FDA who are subject matter experts. That is one of the reasons why we have our courses held on weekends, because industry professionals cannot really take time out of their workday to come and speak to us, but they are really generous and are willing to come on weekends and interact with our students. And that's the strong relationship that we point to over there on the next bullet point. Um, and the courses are held on weekends not only to accommodate our industry speakers, but also to accommodate our working professional students. And the courses are kind of executive style in that instead of meeting, every week for 2 to 3 hours, we meet on weekends on for 7 to 8 hours. So it's an executive style type of almost like a kind of a offsite or retreat kind of an approach. Students can customize their program to be either a full-time student or a part-time student. Um, some of our students are distance students, and some of our students are on-site students. Some of our students are international students or domestic students. They might be in dual program, uh, um, pursuing their PhD or PharmD at the same time. And so we have a very diverse classroom makeup. And what we are trying to do, and always looking to improve, is to how to kind of merge our on-site classroom and the online classroom to be synchronous, to be in, feeling like that real time hybrid learning community. So this is not for distance students. This is not your typical online program, but we expect you to participate as part of the classroom community synchronously. Of course, if the program is recorded, the classes are recorded. So as a working professional, if you have a work trip, you have a way of catching up as well. So truly customized to meet your needs. We integrate also experiential training in industry projects and translational science, as well as regulatory research. So we provide you opportunities to apply what you learn in the classroom for in real world projects. Next, please. We have full-time faculty, we have adjunct faculty, secondary appointments, and along with hundreds of invited speakers that provide the teaching component of our program. Next, please. And then our wonderful staff to make sure that your experience, as you think about our program and apply, as you go through the curriculum, as you get ready to graduate, prepare for your professional careers, our staff is here to make sure that your experience is as positive and as fulfilling as can be. Thank you. Next. All right, I've talked a lot about Professor Susan Bain, so now I'm going to turn it over to her. Susan.
Thank you, Dr. Pacifici. So it's nice to see you all and to be here with you today. As Dr. Pacifici said, there's a lot of opportunities out there for us and for all of you to to work in industry or in the nonprofit area or with the agencies. And yes, two of our students in the last couple of weeks um, started at the FDA and seem to be quite happy. One is going to work in the area of drugs in the drug arena. The other person is going to work in clinical trials. So there's a lot of opportunity there, depending on your interest. So next slide, please. I'm going to talk to you about our TRACS program. So that's Team-Based Regulatory and Quality Solutions. So this is a program where industry comes to us with projects that they have, and they're a little bit resource constrained. Either they don't have the people, the number of people to work on a project they need to get done. They may be time constraints. They need to get a project fast-tracked. They may not have expertise in an area that some of our people who are working professionals or in our PharmD PhD programs may be able to work with them. So we get these projects and they last one semester. And I put together teams of students who want to work on these projects based on their interest. They oftentimes will have maybe people who are in the PharmD program or who are working in industry in a specific area, but they want to get some experience and training and actually explore opportunities in another area. So they might have had a be working in the drug area, but maybe they want to move into combination products or devices, and they want to see what that might be like. So the students will work on these projects. I ask that they commit to 12 to 15 hours a week per student on the project. Most projects have 4 to 6 students on them, and so it ends up being like a part-time job. And truly, the, this is the time commitment. It will be no less than 12 to 15 hours a week. So it is a commitment, and you'll have in the end a pretty rich experience, I think. So this is just a quote from the president and CEO of UU Pharma, which is an international company, and we do get international projects as well. We've had from this South Korea. I've also had a project from Germany. So we are getting international projects as well. But the goal of this is to provide the students an opportunity to work on a real life project. At the end of the project, you'll do a presentation to the company. And that might be on Zoom. It might be in person. We just took a group of students up to the Bay Area to do a presentation there on a project that they worked on for a cell and gene therapy company. We also went down to Dexcom, the glucose monitoring company in San Diego, to do a presentation there. So it just kind of depends. The output, again, depends on what the project is. It might be you're writing new documentation for the company. You may have done a research into potential new target markets, new indications for drugs. You might be contributing to their submissions that are going into the FDA. So there's just a myriad of types of projects that you'll work on: clinical trial designs, market launching strategies. So a little bit of business piece there as well. Next slide, please. So again, these projects last one semester. We're talking about bringing in some that may last more than that, but there's some ongoing discussions there. Again, your final output will be a corporate presentation and then whatever the deliverable that the company requires. So we will have a corporate partner liaison. So you will meet with usually me. I usually am the faculty advisor for all of our projects. I might bring in a subject matter expert to help out if needed, but then I will meet with the team every week, and then the team and I will meet with a corporate liaison. once a week as well. So they're staying involved with the project. They know what's going on, that we're on track, in scope. And if we do need to, we find that oftentimes we find something new and novel that they aren't aware of, and they'll ask us to do a little bit more research or dive a little deeper into certain areas. So it works quite well that way. So students not only get a deeper dive into research and working on new and different projects, but they also get some soft skill training because they learn how to work with the corporate environment. As the person that gave the two slides back, he gave the comments on his projects. He's done 5 projects with us, and he attends every single meeting every single week as CEO because he thinks it's that important and valuable to his company. So, and he's a global company, but so you'll learn how to talk to CEOs, how to talk to, higher level people, subject matter experts in industry, and they'll go in and out of the project as needed, and be contributing as well. So it's a pretty valuable experience. Next slide, please. So these are just some of the companies that we've worked with. Currently this semester I have a project with Stryker medical device company, pretty major medical device company in the US. And another drug company who has 3 products that they're getting ready to commercialize right now and need some help with some work there with some of the smaller projects within those. So yeah, so we do drugs, devices. I can't guarantee any given semester whether it's going to be, more drug or biologic or medical device. It just depends. We're working feverishly to get 2 contracts in place that will hopefully come to fruition this summer, with one with AbbVie. You probably have heard of AbbVie, pretty large pharma, and the other with Boehringer Ingelheim. BI is another large pharma company. So what we'll see with those, I'm not sure, but definitely in the world of combination products as well. So next slide. So scholarships. Do you want me to go ahead and speak on the scholarships? I think so. Scholarships are provided in our department, and they are funded by not only the school, but these TRACS projects as well. So this is a benefit for the company because they're named scholarships. So let's say Stryker, in the next round of scholarships, we will have a scholarship that is sponsored by Stryker. And again, so we have the department funded, industry sponsored, and named scholarships as well. International students are eligible for all of our department scholarships, and we do urge everyone to apply. And even if you get a scholarship one time, yes, you can apply for another scholarship later. So that's kind of nice. That's not always possible. Right, so let me turn it over now to Dr. Benson Kuo to talk about another rich opportunity that we have in the research area. Dr. Kuo.
Thank you, Dr. Ben. Welcome, everyone. I'm Benson Kuo, faculty member in the department, and also directing a consulting center embedded in the program. And I always think what differentiates our programs from other programs. I think two things I will highlight. One is individual attention. The other one would be we provide the experiential programs opportunities, like the TRESS program just delineated by Dr. Ben. And these 2 aspects align with your interest in pursuing career in the regulatory affairs. You care about career, alumni connection. You also like to have engage with a program with academic vigor and with a comprehensive curricula. And so we hope we provide you these and fulfill your needs and will align with your academic directions. I will briefly dive into the career aspects. We provide experiential programs. One of them is, as you heard from Dr. Ben, TREX program. But how about you're new in the field? Next slide, please. Especially if you're international students, you notice that our programs, the classes are mostly on weekends. So on weekdays, you have free time to you, and you can participate in the TREX program and also participate in the consulting projects. Especially important for the international students, I'd like to highlight two more aspects. First, you're probably not aware, you're not allowed to seek for industry internship for the first 9 months. So while you're still in the program, but we provide these experiential programs. So you won't waste your time. On the other hand, you're going to enrich your industry experience or regulatory skills during these 9 months. And the other aspect is you move to the right, you'll see our program is the STEM designated program, which means you will be allowed to stay in the US for 3 years for your OPT training. Unlike other graduate program, they only allow you for 1 year for OPT training. Next slide, please. So during the weekday, during the first 9 months, if you're not selected to TREX program, and if you like to receive, start to get familiar with the regulatory projects or professional skills, we have this. We offer a few regulatory projects for you, and we ask you for 10 hours per week and join the Regulatory Science Journal Club to make presentations. And we engage you with some translational project like quality system requirement, pre-IND packaging, Q submission. These are all foreign terms for you at this point. But participating in this project will help you to get familiar with this profession and regulatory arena very soon. Next project, next slide. With you not only to volunteer your time, you will actually with some academic goals. We like you to obtain incorporate corporate life experience. We like you to start to work with a team, like you will be working with a team in the company. Journal Club will force you to cultivate public speaking skills. And we hopefully with these projects and the TREX program, we transition you to industry internship and positions after 9 months. Next slide. And Karen, could I turn to you for this DK Kim's International Center presentations?
I can actually take that. Thank you.
Okay, let me introduce you to our coordinator,
I will
Karen.
take that, Benson. It's okay.
Okay,
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Koh. So one of the unique aspects of our department and our program is that we also house the DK Kim International Center for Regulatory Science. So this center is focused on applying the regulatory science concepts to regulatory and health solutions globally. And so we have students who are also working in the center on international regulatory topics. And so it is both an educational and research institution. The center director is Professor Larry Liberty, who is our faculty in our program, but also he is very well regarded and very well connected with many of the different international enterprises, including places like the World Health Organization or the APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Communities, pursuit of strengthening the regulatory framework for that entire region. So not only do we have our academic program, not only do we have experiential program, but then we also have this international center that connects our program to the institutions around the world. And our common mission is to improve global health by strengthening the regulatory frameworks or regulatory systems, and also increasing the global workforce capacity. Because as you all know, global health is our American health. So we believe in the interconnectedness of healthcare systems all over the world. Next, please. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through this, but what this shows is that the Kim Center activities are organized into these various clusters. So you can see some of the things that I've already talked about, and we have our own kind of regulatory innovation laboratory. So the type of research that we do are not laboratory research, but they are really important research nevertheless. It's not traditional research with test tubes and cells, but we're really researching on regulatory policies and regulatory implementations and regulatory best practices. Next, please. And here you can see examples of the research topics that our students have been working on. So students working on international regulatory frameworks, you can see, or international regulatory standards, like in ICH guidelines, and also looking at specific product categories, like looking at approaches to biosimilar approvals in Latin America. Next, please. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Karen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen, a program administrator in the department, and I'm going to talk about the regulatory science research team as an opportunity for the regulatory science students to join. So the team is composed of undergraduates, graduates, and some PharmD students who conduct self-driven research. On this slide, you can see some of the skills that you can obtain by joining the group. Usually you start with landscaping the field on the topic that you choose. So some students will do research as you've seen in the previous slides. Some of the topics that were covered in regards to regulatory or regulated products and in the clinical trial space, for example, trial design or let's see, like exclusion, inclusion criteria, things like that. Some of the findings from these research can lead to a policy brief or maybe developing a tool or best practices. Some of our students also go on to submit abstracts and present at local and national conferences, as well as eventually, depending on their time with us, they can go on to publish a manuscript. Let's see. Some of our students have reported back that they've leveraged this experience to obtain internships as well as jobs in the regulatory field, especially if they have had no previous experience. And participating in this usually involves matching with a faculty mentor that you meet with biweekly. And we also have team meetings throughout the semester where students can practice public speaking once again and present to their peers and receive feedback from both other student researchers and faculty. Let's see, is there anything else I need to cover? I think that's about it. So if anyone has any questions, you can reach me next. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Kyle. I forgot about this slide. So our current team is composed of these students here. We have about 5 more, I think, joining. And then on this slide, you can also see some students at different conferences here at DIA and Translational Science who have presented. And we also, while they work hard, can also have a little fun. We went to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. Next slide, please. And here is my contact information if anyone has any questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Karen. It is time for our last poll of the session. So I'm going to put this up on your screen. What is your current professional status? So here we go. We're going to launch the question. Are you currently working full-time? Are you working part-time? Are you looking for work? Maybe you've just recently graduated from an undergrad program, maybe another master's program, or maybe you're currently an undergraduate student looking for a master's program. So we're getting a lot of answers in, and it looks like overwhelmingly we are working full time, which is very much our student body. We have a lot of working professionals, which is why our classes are scheduled on the weekends so that you are able to attend while working a full-time job or having an internship in the industry, et cetera, et cetera. Besides working full-time, it looks like a couple are looking for work and a couple are currently undergraduate students. So that's great to see. But for the majority of us, working full-time. So thank you so much for giving us those answers there. We're going to continue on. Thank you so much for staying with us throughout the session. We're going to move to our program manager, Desiree Hernandez.
Thank you, Kyle. Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm Desiree Hernandez, and I'll be sharing how our department supports your career and professional growth. As we know from the poll that you all took early on, that's one of the biggest factors in choosing a graduate program. So from exploring career paths to preparing for internships and jobs, we provide structured resources and events to help you every step of the way. Next slide, please. So this quote from one of our alumni really captures the experience here. Students consistently tell us that one of the most valuable parts of this program is not only what they learn, but who they meet. You'll learn alongside classmates who already work across pharma, med device, biotech, and regulatory roles. And at the same time, you're meeting industry professionals through our events, guest speakers, and employer partnerships. So the network you build here is often just as powerful as the degree itself. And we'll go over this pie right here and talk about the various resources that we offer. Next slide, please. Our LinkedIn is for students and alumni only. So it is a private group that you must join. And we definitely encourage everyone, once they're admitted, to come here and learn more about where this is a place where the rules are shared with students, new courses, new programs, even job opportunities. Next slide, please. Our internal job board, this is something we maintain that is exclusive also, again, to our students and alumni. They're not random postings. They come directly from our employer partners, our alumni working in the industry, and organizations that specifically ask to recruit our students. So this is one of the biggest hidden advantages of being in this program, is access to opportunities that many people outside the program may never see. And a practical tip that we give to our students once they're here is please do not unsubscribe from these emails because this is how these opportunities are shared. Next slide, please. In addition to coursework, we host professional development workshops throughout the year. These focus on the skills that help you get hired and grow in your career. Things like interviewing, resume writing strategy, career transitions, and hearing directly from industry professionals about what they look for in candidates. These workshops are designed to help you translate your academic experience into a strong professional narrative. So here are some flyers from workshops that we hosted in the fall and soon to come this spring. Next slide, please. We also bring employers directly to our students through employer info sessions. So these are opportunities for you to hear from companies about what they do, the types of roles they hire for, and how regulatory professionals fit into their organizations. They are hosted during the lunch hour from 12 to 1 virtually, so it's convenient for both the employer to be able to host these and also for the students to be able to attend. As many of you are working professionals, we keep that in mind. These workshops info sessions give students early visibility into the industry landscape and helps them better understand where they might want to position themselves after graduation. Next slide. Here you'll see a snapshot of the types of companies that regularly participate in our annual career event. So these are leading organizations across pharmaceutical, biotech, med device industries, companies like Johnson & Johnson, Genentech, Abbott, Boston Scientific, Amgen, and many more. Our students have the opportunity to speak directly with recruiters, hiring managers, and regulatory professionals from these organizations during our annual event. And for many students, this is where initial connections are made that later turn into internships, job opportunities, or professional contacts. So our goal is simple. When you graduate, you don't just leave with a degree, you leave with a network, industry exposure, and real opportunities already in motion. So if you have any questions at the end, I'm happy to answer them for you. Thank you, Kyle.
All right, so we have a short video from one of our recent graduates, Amelia Spinrad, to talk about her experience within the program and how it helped her post-graduation. So we're going to hear from her now.
I'm Amelia, and I'm a recent graduate of the Regulatory Science Master's program. I graduated last summer, and I'm here to share my story with you today. So I feel like I really came into regulatory science by trial and error. I thought I wanted to work in biotech, and I wondered if I needed a PharmD or a PhD in order to do so. So after some Googling, like a true millennial, I found the regulatory science program on the USC website, and that really piqued my interest. It was like all of my passions in one thing. It was science, business, government affairs, both in the US and abroad. And when I glass-doored the regulatory affairs jobs, I noticed the pay was well within a range I was comfortable with. I also realized I could work and get more experience and earn money while also pursuing my master's, since the classes were during the weekends. So I applied and was accepted into the program. Frequently, the program sent out internship opportunities, and within a few months of being in the program, I was working 2 internships, one with a small biotech company focusing on toe fungus, and another as a clinical research coordinator working in irritable bowel disease, where I worked with patients and doctors and pharmaceutical companies sponsoring clinical trials. Even with only a few months of courses under my belt, I felt well prepared for the internship interviews and also the job duties. And after just 1 year in Reg Sci courses, I was confident that if I wanted to apply for medical or pharmacy school, I would be awarded an interview because I had a really comprehensive understanding of how products are tested and used in patients. For me, I didn't want to do that because I really fell in love with regulatory science and I just wanted to learn more. The Reg Sci program gave me the tools and abilities to even conduct and present my research. You can see the picture here on the slide. which really helped further my public speaking and critical thinking skills. After completing the program and graduating with my master's, I wanted to work for a pharmaceutical company to see drug development from just a molecule to product approval. So I used my connections with USC, and within a couple months of looking and interviewing, I accepted a role at Gilead. Actually, when I was interviewing, a former student of the USC RegSci program was even on my interview panel, and this made me really thankful for my #Trojan family. It was really nice to connect with someone like that. In my current role as a Senior Regulatory Affairs Associate, I help with activities across the product life cycle, like annual safety reporting, to helping prepare investigational new drug applications in order to begin clinical trials, and serving as FDA's first point of contact for Gilead. I started at Gilead back in September as a regulatory associate too, and was quickly able to move into a more senior role. And I can see a path for me to advance further. Having a master's has already shown me that I was able to advance quickly in my career, since I had the necessary skills needed to succeed in industry. Problem solving, familiarity with searching for information on the FDA website, and presenting. As I look at the degrees of folks in industry, I would say that most people have some form of graduate degrees, and the people with degrees in regulatory science are able to go to very senior roles. My specialized degree also sets me apart from my peers, and I feel really confident that I have a thorough understanding of drug development. I feel like well prepared for the role I'm in. Overall, I guess I'm just really grateful for all the opportunities that the master's degree opened up for me, which wouldn't have been available without it.
All right, so that's from Amelia. As you could see when she recorded that video, she was a senior associate, and she keeps climbing through Gilead, where now she is an associate director within their company. So now we're going to move to our student services advisor to take a break from answering all those questions in the Q&A section, Lee Granz.
Hi, everybody. The most important part of the whole presentation, how do you join us? So I'm going to talk about our admissions requirements. Well, we have the graduate application available through the portal that you can find on our website. I did link our website in the chat. 2 letters of recommendation. Oh, and I should say this is for our master's and graduate certificate admission. The DRSC application process is slightly different. I know there's several DRSC applicants here with us right now. I'm sorry that this isn't relevant to you, but still good information to have. 2 letters of recommendation from a prior manager, boss, professor, just anybody who has a good sense of your work ethic and ability to succeed in this program. Updated resume and CV, a brief 1-page personal statement, just detailing why you want to join this program, what is your draw to regulatory, how do you see this benefiting you. And of course, official transcripts sent to USC, and English proficiency scores if you are outside of the US. And English is not the national language. Next slide. So preparing to apply, if you need to take, any standardized tests, we don't require any for our applications except for those English proficiency tests if you happen to be international. Make sure that your resumes are current and up to date with dates on them. It's great that you went to that school, but we want to know when. Recommendation letters, make sure you request them early. That's the biggest delay in a lot of my applications is those last letters of recommendation. You send out your request and then you're waiting for them to do their part. Make sure you get it done early. And our application deadlines, we have admissions every term, so spring, summer, and fall. Right now, we're currently in our summer and fall admissions. Summer has just passed the deadline, and we have another application deadline for fall coming up on April 1st. For the DRSC, you still have time to apply. March 1st would be the final deadline for that. Next slide. So our international students, there are several ways you can do the English proficiency test, the TOEFL, IELTS, PTE. Make sure you schedule your test ahead of time. And if you have taken this test, your results are good for 2 years. So if you've taken it anytime between February of 2024 to now, you're okay. The minimum score for TOEFL is a 100 and IELTS right now is 7. We do have a lot of writing and speaking in all of our programs, so it is very important that you are as fluent as possible. Little note about TOEFL, their scoring system will be changing soon. So when that has crossed over, if you're taking the TOEFL test, the minimum score we will accept is a 5. Now they're going to a 1 to 6 scale. So it's a little bit different, but the information is all there. Next slide. So our deadlines, like I said, right now we're still in fall admissions. The next one is April 1st. This is considered our final international deadline due to visa requirements and appointments. June 1st, only 2 months ahead of the term is just not enough time to make sure everything is arranged appropriately and that you're here when you need to be. So April 1st would be the last time we accept international applicants, unless you are already here in the United States. If you're already studying at an American school, then it's a little bit easier. But that is April 1st, and then June 1st for our final deadline for fall admissions. And then spring will start up here in September, and then October and November 1st. And summer has already gone underway, so we're really just looking for fall and spring of 27 at that point. Next slide. All right, so just a couple more reminders. The personal statement, again, keep it brief. We get a lot of applications. I don't want to read all of your novels. I'm sure they're great, but we want it brief and concise, represent yourself well. Letters of recommendation, again, make sure you get them super early. If for some reason your evaluator is having a hard time submitting the letter, you can always reach out to me and just have them send it to me directly. And also check your email. We or I will be contact you a lot during the admissions process. So we want to make sure that we keep in contact, that you are, providing all of the materials that you need, that if you're missing anything, we can resolve it quickly. And side note, if you have any gaps in your education, you took a break, you took a year off to work, whatever, sometimes that can also get flagged in your application. So there is a portion where you can note that. So just make sure that you've completed everything to the fullest extent that you can. So next. And this is the OIS page. This is for our international students. OIS is the Office of International Services. It is extremely useful and helpful. We visit this website a lot on the advisor side. This can give you information about visas, studying at USC, how to do housing, figuring out your bank and debit card and all of that. So definitely if you're an international student, bookmark that page. Next. Oh, and this is just a little bit about CPT and OPT. I think Professor Kuo might have talked about it a little bit. As a STEM program, we do offer you're eligible for those 2 years of OPT as opposed to just 1. So that's great. For our international students, you do have to be here for at least 1 academic year before you can take advantage of the CPT and OPT.
Sorry, Lee, it's a 3-year, not 2 years.
3 years.
OPT.
Yeah, you get 2 additional. Yes. All right. And go ahead. Thank you. RSI 596 is our CPT course. A lot of our international students are able to secure internships, and this can work as a one-unit elective, which they can do up to 4 times. And I have had students who were able to secure multiple internships, or their internship loved them so much that they keep asking them to come back term after term. So next. And I guess that's it for me. If you have any questions specifically about your application, please email me. Our contact general inbox will be at the end of the slides. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lee. Yes, so this is our last section of the presentation, and then we will open it up to Q&A. It looks like we have a few questions in the Q&A, and we have 14 answered questions, so a lot of good information in the answered section if you want to go in there. But a little bit about graduate school at USC. So if you don't know, USC has over 400 graduate programs within our institution, within 20 different schools. We are located in USC Man, which is the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences. But USC has over 28,000 graduate and professional students. So you are definitely not alone going back to school, getting your master's degree or a graduate certificate or maybe the doctorate program. And we have over 11,000 international students from 135 countries. I know definitely our program, we have a lot of students join us from India, from Asia, from Latin America, from Europe. So a diverse student body all across campus. And outside of the class, if you're looking to find your community, your group of friends, if you're joining us here in person, we have a lot of sports teams, as you're probably well aware. You can get free tickets to most of the home games in all of the different sports. We have over 1,000 student organizations. And 22 campus libraries. If you don't know, USC has 2 campuses. They have the UPC campus, the University Park campus, and they also have the Health Science campus. We are located on the Health Science campus, but there is a free shuttle that takes you between campuses. So if you want to hop over to the other campus for an event, for a game, for an organization or a club, you can do that for free by being a student here. And we have intramural and club sports. So if you want to get yourself out on the field and play, we also have gyms, we have rock climbing walls, we have pools and all of the recreational facilities for you to blow off some steam before or after class. So it is time for our Q&A session. Before we get into that, as you can see on the screen, not only do we have our website where there's a lot of good information, but below that we have our department's email address. And sometimes the website has so much information that it's hard to find exactly what you're looking for. So if you do have trouble finding an answer or a piece of info, definitely utilize that department email. That goes straight to us in the Student Services Department. We would love to chat with you and make sure that you can find whatever you need after you leave the session today. So regsci@usc.edu is the best way to stay in contact with us. So you can go into the question and answer section, put your questions in there. If it's easier, you can actually raise your hand. You can choose that, and I can allow you to talk. So if you want to turn on your mic, I can give you that option if it's easier to ask your question that way. Or you can also just open up the chat box and put your question in there. But we definitely want to make sure that we leave some time so that any questions that came up, you have the ability to ask in person. Now, I see a few questions, and actually this might be a good question for our faculty who are with us right now. So we have a question from Jeremy that says, I'm a research associate contributing to in vivo research and was curious if USC has curriculum revolving around vivarium research.
I'm not I'm not sure what vivarium research is about, but what we do have that could be closest um, in alignment with Jeremy's interest might be our Masters in Management of Drug Development. So the Management of Drug Development, or MDD, we like to call it, it focuses on the translational component. So the part that goes from basic research toward clinical research. So we call that kind of valley of the death area. We call that translational research. And how do you go from findings from basic research and continue to create knowledge base and the optimization of the lead um, product candidate to meet the requirements that the FDA has to allow human clinical trials to proceed. We call that kind of the IND or IDE enabling studies.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Pacifici. Jeremy, I saw you raise your hand. I gave you the opportunity to speak. So if you want to unmute yourself and add anything, I gave you that option there for you. But I also see that Dr. Susan Bain, she had to leave, but we got a quick note from her before she had to leave. She said that she has experience in vivarium, and we do discuss during lectures surrounding preclinical requirements and regulations. So there's a little bit more on that area for you. Um, so thank
Yes,
you.
in that topic, we do touch upon good laboratory practice, which are the animal studies that are conducted in preparation for starting clinical trials. So those topics, good laboratory practice, along with other GXP topics, are addressed in our curriculum.
Right. So we have an anonymous question in the chat, and they say, I'm currently working full time as RA/PS in chemical industry. They have been in QA and RA field for over 25 years, focused on biotech in human and animal food and the DS industry. Their training has been learning on the job, and they feel like they're losing out to those with a master's degree. Do you have a suggestion on an appropriate program? So that is a good question. That's actually something that we've been hearing a lot more recently, which is a lot of people who fell into regulatory or quality, learned on the job. Now, maybe their company downsized, they're looking for a new job, and they feel like without that master's on their resume, they're losing out to people, which is why we have a lot of professionals coming back to school to get that master's completed. In terms of what exact degree might be good for you, under each degree on our website, you'll see there are links that break down required courses for that. So that gives you a lot of information as far as what exact courses you will be taking in the different programs. If that's hard to find, the exact curriculum within each program, again, feel free to email us and I can send you direct links to those areas. But that should give you a lot better idea about the specific classes and the curriculum within it. And that will help you determine what's going to line up with kind of your area of expertise or the area you're looking to focus more in the future.
And if I could add to that, Kyle, we hear this a lot from our working professional students, is that yes, they have learned a lot on it through the on-the-job training, but oftentimes you learn what you need to do the job. And programs like ours give you a broader perspective and also training in adjacent areas than your specific job function. And so it ends up, from what I have heard from my working professional students, is that it allows them to be able to be even more engaged and to be able to contribute more in their current company in ways that are noticed. And I have heard on several occasions that as a company restructures, those that seem to be, kind of seem to be contributing in different ways or more varied ways are considered to be more valuable, or it allows you to move laterally from one function to an adjacent function, or position you for success in securing positions outside of your current organization.
Thank you for that. So it looks like that is the last of our open questions. So once again, our email address up on the screen. You'll also all be getting an email from me after the session. If you'd like to set up a call or maybe a one-on-one Zoom to chat about your specific situation, we can definitely do that. But again, thank you so much for spending a little over an hour with us. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, we will be seeing you on campus in class in the near future, maybe tuning into a live class if you're outside of the LA area. We hope to hear from you soon. We are going to close out this session. So thank you all again for joining us. Hope you have a good rest of your day.